My name is Adam Buker. I seek to tell stories, though my work isn't known yet. I write, I film, and I compose. My challenges are many, yet I will be heard, even if I am only one small voice. So, I may have mentioned this before, but recently my wife and I have had a new child. And that makes 4 children. And given that there is a new little one, chaos is reigning in our household again. And although she's very much a little cutie, unfortunately, it has meant that a lot of my creative projects that I have going on, the things I very much dearly want to do, have been sidelined. In fact, as we speak, I'm going to be running a few errands today because, unfortunately, we discovered roaches in our kitchen, which is quite unfortunate. And that also means that, I'm pretty much going to have to pull everything out of the cabinets, clean, re-clean all the dishes. It's going to be a nightmare, and I am probably going to get 0 sleep tonight. Not fun, not looking forward to any of this. So, I've been thinking about something that possibly might help with 2 fronts I'm facing. The first is, I've got this great phone. It shoots great video, despite it being old. And so what I'm going to try to do is, in a way, bring back my random thoughts from the car. Because this is the easiest way for me to get guaranteed time to record a video. With that being said, I will record, but I will also edit and upload from the phone as well. This means I won't even put footage into the computer for this purpose. I'm going to record this. I'm going to trim and edit, put some basic text titles on this thing, and ship it on out and see how this works. So I am bringing back random thoughts from the car, but I'm still going to do one small voice, and I'm still going to record that in the studio with my nicer GH2 camera. The reason for that is that I think branching off the one small voice videos, I probably won't be releasing as often as the random thoughts from a car, but when I do, they're going to be of higher production quality. I'll have my studio lighting that I can control. I'll have audio that I can control. I'll be able to do more in terms of production, actually planning each video out in complete detail. And I was totally unprepared for this detour in the road. As was the guy ahead of me. C'est la vie. Ooh. Anyway, where was I? So basically, my one small voice videos are going to be a lot more thoughtfully composed, a lot more thoughtfully shot, a lot more thoughtfully edited. And I'm going to be able to really focus on doing high quality content with that setup. That being said, I'm going to be aiming to get one of those episodes out per month. And I'm going to try to get one of these episodes of Random Thoughts from the Car out once per week. That's hopeful. Realistically, I'm expecting once every 2 weeks. So, optimistically, I'd be releasing 3 to 4 videos per month. Wait, what am I doing? Now, with Random Thoughts from a Car, it's really easy. Most of these videos are just unplanned, spur of the moment. So what I do is I basically set my phone up, I get in the car, start driving to where I need to drive to, pay attention to the road sometimes, and talk to the camera. All I have to do is basically think of a subject that I can rant at length about, and depending on the day or what I've been through or what I'm thinking about, the subject can vary widely. And there's a ton of these rants that I have recorded, and many of them I've just never bothered to upload because I felt the quality of the video wasn't good enough, or I felt like there's more I need to do with this material or the subject matter at hand. But ultimately, this is a chance for me to be raw and unscripted, in a sense. But my one small voice is something that I can make and focus and have that content be very intentional. Now, by intentional, it means everything that goes into that video, from what I talk about, to how I frame my shots, to whatever B-roll I include, whatever slides, cutaway graphics, things like that I'm not going to really focus on in this series, I'm going to be able to put into that series and have everything basically come together and look fantastic, polished, and professional. Basically, as far as that goes, I'd be trying to do every bit as good of a job as I would be, say, if I was making a video for a client. That being said, I'm still on the fence on whether or not I want to jump into the whole videography thing, but that's a whole nother issue for another day. Because I'm getting to the point where I need to be putting more content out, not just on YouTube, but on my website and various social media platforms. But the thing is, most of my videos and most of these rants are talking about my need to create and how little time I have to do it. So anything I can help come up with that's going to be faster or make my job easier or more efficient is what I'm looking into. And this is one change that I'm looking to make because I think it could work. So what this means for me is this space, Random Thoughts from a Car, is going to be just that. It's going to be very random. I might be talking about what I'm doing with my channel or something like that. But on the other hand, I could talk about my favorite manga anime series of all time. I could talk about working on my old Apple II. I could talk about a number of different things. But one small voice, that is a different animal. That's going to become a different animal. Now, the reason for the name Random Thoughts from a Car is obvious. But if you've ever wondered why, for the video content that I'm going to be producing under the banner of One Small Voice, why did I choose that name? The name choice is simple. For me, it goes back, in a way, to reading Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead. The villain in that story is Ellsworth Toohey, and he titled his column for Gail Wynand's banner as One Small Voice. So this is kind of a play on that. Obviously, Tui's viewpoints are not going to be mine, not by a long shot. But the thing is this is kind of throwing it back in the face of all the Tuis that exist in our world today. And believe me, there are a ton of them. So I want to take this as a gesture of protest and throw it in their faces, saying this is not going to be their kind of world. They are not going to win, and by golly, I'm going to stand for what I actually believe in. I'm going to stand for reason, individualism, productivity, creativity. I'm going to stand for all the things that make my life worth living. So, with that being said, one small voice is where I think I'm going to do much deeper dives into certain subjects having to do with my creativity, with my vision, perhaps sometimes with techniques and things that I'm doing with my studio and whatnot. But there are certain things I want to talk about that in order to give them the attention they deserve, they need to be broken down into more thoughtfully put out video content. And so I think doing this split is going to allow me to do that. So anyway, against the backdrop of the ever-changing chaos that is my family life at home, what other things am I going to try to do besides splitting up my video content into two respective shows? Well, in my spare time, whenever I can find it at work, I'm going to try to write blog posts, and I'm going to try to figure out a way that I can actually update my website blog from work, as well as some of my social media. This, I think, is going to be a little bit more complicated to do, but certainly the potential is there. But, there's going to be a lot of times where I don't have that kind of time at work. So the other thing is I'm going to try to be able to get to a point where I can do the bulk of it at home. Now, there's just some things that can't be done anywhere else but home, like my music production and whatnot. So unfortunately, I think that is going to suffer somewhat until we get things more normalized and in our family unit. But anyway, that's all I've got to say for today. So if you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and if you've made it this far, congratulations. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Peace out and have a great day.